Hello there everyone, it's Ryan here and I'm back with an FSX video. This is one of the first FSX videos that is going up in a really long time, and today you can see that we are in the cockpit of the Airbus A320 EasyJet. Now, shifting my view, let's go ahead and call the jetway over. Today we are in Amsterdam Schiphol Airport, awaiting departure. We have to set up the airplane and get her all ready to go up into the sky. So while I shift through my views here, let's go on that side of the wing. Alright, so to do a cold and dark startup, the first thing you want to do is go up here, turn on the external power, hit those two battery switches, and turn on the fuel pumps. Next, I like to shift over here when it's raining. Turn on those. Let's turn on the nav and logo lights. Those are the wrong ones. Nav and logo, beacon. Arm the emergency exit lights. Turn on the seatbelt, no smoking. And we'll get our panels up here. And now we'll also, I use the built-in checklist for the Airbus that comes in with it. Get the virtual cockpit lighting up in here. Get the regular light on. Get our brake fans on. Set our autopilot up. Get our QNH in. And let's turn on our weather radar. Arm our ground spoilers. Turn on our parking brake. Those are set to idle. And we can also go on up here. Flick those switches to nav. We can start loading our fuel. Now, I am going to shortly come back to you. I'm going to go and load in a load sheet from the fuel planner for the exact route that we're doing. Stay tuned and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so we're back after generating our load sheet. I'll put it in here. And we shall open up our cargo doors. And we will load our boarding, cargo, and fuel needed on the journey, and let them start their checklist.
Okay, let's start with the cockpit preparation checklist.
Batteries,
Both on,
electrical power,
and the external power is on.
navigation lights,
On,
engine master,
both off.
engine mode selector,
Checked normal,
landing gear lever,
is checked.
parking brake,
On,
flaps,
checked position.
speed brake lever,
Set,
thrust levers,
idle.
transponder mode,
Checked standby.
radio control panel,
Set on,
EHAM recall,
is checked.
anti-skid,
On,
flight director,
on,
emergency lights,
checked and armed.
no smoking signs,
On,
anti-ice,
off.
probe window heat,
Auto,
air condition,
is checked.
ventilation panel,
Is checked.
electric panel,
Is checked.
fuel pumps,
On,
hydraulics,
is checked.
active brake pressure,
Set,
ground proximity warning system,
on,
electronic flight control system,
on,
ADIRS,
is checked.
emergency equipment,
Is checked.
checklist complete.
Alright, while they were going through their checklist, everyone, I go ahead and set up the FMC. So we are going from Hamburg or Amsterdam, not Hamburg, sorry. Amsterdam to London. Our alternate's going to be London Gatwick, just something that I chose. We're EasyJet 884. We are going to be, yeah, that was just thrown in there. Our latitude, it looks like. Cost index will be 18. Flight level 220. We'll start aligning our IRS, and that does align the IRS in real time. So then when we move down, we'll put in our block fuel that I got from the fuel planner. And if we move over to perf, we're going to do a flaps 2 takeoff because of the wet runway conditions. Here are our V speeds. And when we went to the flight plan, we chose to go runway 27 left with the arrival of the big 1F, which I chose here. And then when we went down here, you hit clear, and on the flight plan discontinuity switch, and clear those discontinuities. Now, cargo's done. We want to finish the boarding and the fuel loading, and then I'll come back to you, and we'll start our engines up, and get a clearance for pushback. See you guys back here in a minute. Alright guys, so we're back in the cockpit here. You can see our weather radar is loaded up. We have major thunderstorms. Looks like clearing out there. Here's the weather for, yeah, looks like about 100 miles or so. It's gonna clear when we're out there. All around Amsterdam, looks like some rain, severe thunder. So now that boarding is done, I just accidentally messed up the load sheet. Well, you know what? That's too bad. That is way too bad. Why? You know what? Yeah, load instant. There we go. There we go. I'm cheating a little bit. Alright, we'll close our doors. And the checklist will continue. And then we'll get cleared out for push.
Captain, the cabin is secure. All passengers are aboard.
Okay, let's do the before start checklist.
Windows and doors.
Closed and locked.
APU.
Set on.
APU bleed.
Alright, so we're just waiting for the APU to start up now. You can hear it rev up. And there we go, APU's on.
Set on.
External power.
Disconnected and off.
Cabin sides.
On.
Thrust levers.
Idle.
Parking brake.
On.
Baro reference.
Is checked. 9er. 8. 9er.
9, 8, 9. Check. Beacon lights.
On.
Checklist complete.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start pushing out here. Yep. I'm going to start up the engines, request push from ground, and that will be set. Let's get our flaps in position, set our speed brakes. Let's go into our checklist here, start push, and we are going to want to also probably remove this. Now listen closely to the crew. Alright, well, the cabin crew should have told me that all the passengers were aboard, but, guess since we didn't load in the load sheet, it was a bit too late for that. Go back in here, and we're probably going to want to go about 30 feet back and be pushed off to the nose left. We'll go like 33 meters and nose left, I hope. Nose left. Let's see, tail direction. Yeah, left. Yep, we want to go left.
Flight deck to ground.
I am very bad at pushback though, so yeah.
Okay, ground. We have ATC clearance for a push and start. Now, please confirm ground equipment and services are clear.
Roger. The ground equipment and stairs are clear, all doors are closed. Steering pin is in position and we're ready when you are, Captain.
Start pushback.
Roger, sir. Please release your parking brakes.
Alright, let's release them.
Parking brakes released.
Start and push back. You can start both engines at your discretion, Captain.
It's okay.
Alright, so we're going to start engines and yep, we're going to start engines while pushing back. So we'll turn that, and here we go. Can turn those off though. Let's set up our autopilot while we're going out here. We're going to go up to 22,000 feet, and we'll set that in. I'll do an autopilot tutorial hopefully one day. Now please tell me that this guy is going to push us the right. Oh no. Oh, that's wonderful. Yep. That is wonderful. If we're going to be pushed the way that I think he's pushing us, we're not going to wind up that way. We're gonna wind up facing the wall. Alright, looks good enough to me. Let's start engine 1.
Starting number 1.
He totally pushed us outside the lines here. It's one thing that I don't like about the pushback service that they offer. But,
And pushback is complete, Captain. Please set your parking brakes.
alright, here we go.
Parking brakes set.
Okay then, Captain. Tow bar disconnected. You know steering pin is removed. All clear. Signal on the right. Have a good run, sir.
Alright, our APU can go off. Nose light can go on to taxi. Strobes can go on to auto.
Checklist.
And they're going to do the after start.
Engine mode selector.
Set.
APU bleed.
Set off.
APU master.
Off.
Ground spoilers.
Checked and armed.
Rudder trim.
Checked. 0.
Hitch trim.
Set.
Flight controls.
Alright, so let's calibrate our flight controls here.
Full left.
You can simply do this by moving your joystick or yoke in the direction that you need to go, which is told you up here.
Full right. Neutral. Full up. Full down. Neutral. rudder, full left, full right, neutral,
Check.
left
Flaps.
2,
Anti-ice.
off,
EHAM status.
is checked,
EHAM door page.
is checked,
Hand signal.
received.
Checklist complete.
Alright, so we can start our taxi. I'm not the best taxier with this thing, so do forgive me. Please forgive me. I also am not very good with the rainy situation. I only did it to make the video more interesting. And to show you how to set up the weather radar.
And the taxiing checklist.
Nose light.
Taxi,
Brake check.
pedal pressed, check 0,
Check. Auto brakes.
max,
Takeoff data.
reviewed,
FCU.
is checked,
Flight instruments.
is checked,
Checked. TO config.
Alright.
TO config.
Hang on, there's something wrong here with the takeoff config. Okay. Flaps are gonna go to flaps 2 and then we'll be good. Now let's just take a look here. I have to taxi
TO config.
out.
set,
Checklist complete.
Now what I'm gonna have to do is taxi out onto that runway, turn around and go back around. This is our runway here. We're gonna go this way and around and then taxi on. Sorry if it's really hard to see with the I could turn the gain down, but that will only make it all go yellow, and I prefer to use it in like the cal setting. That's one of the best settings that I've found to use. And to be completely honest with you, I tried recording this video once already, and this didn't work. There we are. And since we're going to eventually start flying, we'll turn our wipers up. Actually, no. You know, that will get too annoying. We'll save it until we're in the air. Now, since we're just taxiing on here and we're not using ATC, nothing's coming. So we're just going to taxi on. Now, I'm just going to cut some of this video part out here, so I'm going to go ahead and taxi a little bit closer to the runway, and then I'll come back to you. Alright guys, so we're getting closer to the runway here. Looks like we might actually wind up intersecting with it. Should be all the way down here at the end of this runway that we're taxiing on currently. Like I said, I'm not the best taxier, so don't judge. I sim more for fun than for realism, although I do like realism. But I'm not running a desktop. I have a very beefy laptop from Origin PC, and it can handle this game pretty well. You know, I'm recording at 30 frames, so I'm happy with that. Here's the runway coming up now. By the looks of it, we have to turn right on this runway. I keep hitting the flaps button. Alright. We'll go ahead and start preparing the cabin.
Flight attendants, seats for takeoff, please. Before takeoff checklist.
Brake temperature.
Is checked.
Brake fans.
Off.
Engine mode selector.
Checked normal.
TCAS.
TARA tilde above.
Exterior lights.
Set on.
Sliding tables.
Stowed.
Stowed. Checklist complete.
Alright, here we go. For some reason, either my controls are uncalibrated or I just can't stay on the middle of the runway, but we want to kind of edge off towards the right. I'm going to pull out onto the taxiway and then turn out back around, hopefully without hitting the grass. And then we'll climb out. And I'll probably cut back to you some point after we reach cruise, so that way it won't bore you to death. We're going to go over here and pull out onto the apron and turn around. That's probably the best way to do it here. Now, despite all the clouds, it is actually morning right now in Amsterdam. We're doing a day/morning flight into Heathrow. And here we are. Let's taxi on. We're going to go ahead and I'll probably do a video about Airbus tutorials sometime down the road. And I also do want to make one disclaimer. My microphone, I am using my standard laptop microphone right now, because I do not have enough USB ports to plug in a headset, and currently do not have money to buy a USB hub, but that will be coming down the pike as well with a new headset or a desktop microphone of some sort. But here we go, guys, anyway. Alright, let's go. Take off.
Takeoff. Manual flex, SRS and runway.
Check. Power set. .100 knots.
Is checked.
V1. Rotate. Positive climb.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Nav.
Check.
There we go. Taking off. There's the airport over there. And we'll scale back, climb thrust, turn our autopilot on. And
Speed.
don't worry about that.
Speed. 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 Speed.
The computer will take care of that.
Speed. 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 Speed.
Alright, that should have taken care of it. Just needed a little bit of a power up. Alright, so we'll climb out to cruising altitude. Currently,
Speed check. Flaps 1.
we'll go over and view more of the route. You can see we're going to head out that way. Over it, we're going to be going over the English Channel, which is right up ahead, and over into London.
And flaps 0.
Speed check. Flaps 0.
Okay, yeah, after takeoff checklist.
Engine mode selector.
Checked normal.
Spoilers.
Disarmed.
Flaps.
Checked. Retracted.
Landing gear.
Gear up. Lights off.
Exterior lights.
Set off.
Packs.
Both on.
Anti-ice.
Off.
TCAS.
Is checked.
Altimeter.
9er. 8. 9er.
9, 8, 9. Checked. Checklist complete. Transition altitude.
Barrel reference set and cross check.
Check.
Now, we are going through some clouds right now, and we're in quite a lot of turbulence. Once we get above 10,000 feet, though, you can see that this is telling us to climb to cruise. Once we get to 10,000 feet, we will be excellent. I'm just trying to play around with this here, see where I can get it to go. Alright, so we're starting to level off here. Can't really tell if we're quite over the water yet. Check our terrain here. Yep, we're about to be over the water. And a couple of more 1,000 feet.
Passing 10,000 feet.
Yeah, actually, no, there we are. And it looks like the rain has stopped. So we're going to turn those wipers off. Obviously, there's still some cloud. Looks like we're still hitting some turbulence. But as far as anything else, I cannot tell that it is still raining outside at all. So there's no need to worry about that. Let's hop over to the wing. Here we are on the wing. This is what you would see if you were a passenger. You can see it's quite a beautiful sunrise here coming out of Amsterdam. And we're just about to go over the English Channel. We just crossed over into it, so back into the flight deck. Have a look around. It's quite beautiful. Still turbulent and raining down below us, and looks like the weather's even set to get worse. We're not in any weather right now, you can see around us. Well, we're going to be going right back into a storm once we get over there. But when we reach cruise, I will cut the video so that way you're not bored. And once we go into approach, I will come back shortly before the top of descent, explain what's going to happen, what type of approach we're doing, and yeah, then that will be the video. If you have any requests or comments, just leave a comment down below. Please show some love on the videos. I do want to get the YouTube channel going back up again. And I feel like my community of 36 people who are most likely, or not most likely, but who are loyal, you guys like to watch the videos, but I strongly urge you to please show other people, let them know. I would really appreciate some likes, and it just keeps you motivated to keep putting out content. Now, I also want to bring something up, because this channel used to be called Ultimate Rush Fan, which you can still find me at that link. This is like, if you type in youtube.com/the old channel name, it will bring you here, but I believe you could also type in Ryan's Life. I also would like to bring up the fact Rush just announced yesterday their R40 anniversary tour. That is going to be absolutely amazing. Hopefully I can bring you guys some like slideshow pictures, maybe some video if I get some good video, but a lot of the Rush video that I tape is embarrassing, because I will admit I do scream during concerts. So don't count on me doing that. I'm hoping to go out to Vegas and see them, but unfortunately the times that we wanted to go to local shows, I live on Long Island, as many of my subscribers do know. A lot of people do know me personally. I live out on Long Island, and I was looking to go to the Boston show, the Philadelphia show. My parents wanted to go, or my mom I should say. She is more into Rush than my dad, and we were looking forward to doing that, but I have regencies with school during that time, and my mom has to work, and it doesn't seem like it's going to work out. So if, according to them, we're probably going to travel to one place. Sometimes that changes. Sometimes it's traveling to no place. Sometimes it's more than one place. But we're trying to pick a couple of places to throw around ideas of possibly going to. One of those is Las Vegas, which most likely, we're not 100% sure yet, but we're most likely going to head out to Vegas and see them again. We saw them 2 years ago on their... Hang on. Thank you, stewardess. Saw them a couple of years ago back on the Clockwork Angels tour at the MGM Grand. That was great. And that was my first year in Las Vegas. Last year I went back again after junior high school was over. And look at that, I might be going back again this year. It's going to be great. Amazing. Can't believe that Rush is touring again. But they did also release a statement that this is probably going to be their last big tour. And to be completely honest with you, it's not even that big, their tour. It's not even that big at the moment. It's 34 cities. If you think about that, they're playing like 4 cities a month, about. Maybe 1 city a week, 2 cities a week. I'm hoping that they will add more dates for 2016. Maybe go international, even though I can't travel to one of those because it's way too expensive. But yeah, I'm just excited for it in general overall. I'll come back to you guys when we're about to descend, and yeah, I'll see you guys back here in a few minutes. Alrighty guys, welcome back. We are going to start our descent checklist.
The descent
seatbelt signs.
On.
RTIs.
Off.
Landing information.
Received.
Altimeter.
Standard.
Radio.
Set.
Checklist complete.
Alright, so let's initiate our descent. I like to go down to about 2,500.
Initiating descent.
And so we're going to descend in.
Radar tilt.
So you can see our route is going to have us take a right turn in a minute. And it's going to lead us over, and it looks like it's going to be raining in Heathrow. So what we're going to do is, and please excuse the lag, I do apologize. The Airbus is very bad on frames. It doesn't give the best frame rate really ever. So only when I'm not recording does it give a good frame rate. There we go, we're turning, and just for our sake, let's just say it's like 20 degrees Celsius outside. When we land, we don't know the QNH yet. Our transition altitude will be 5,000 feet. I like to make it as most accurate as I can get it. We're going to be doing a full landing, which includes rollout and flare. At the end, probably at around like 400 feet, I'll probably take over, depending on how well I think the landing is going. And then that will be the video. We'll taxi out to a gate, park, shut the aircraft down, and that will be our first video. At the time of recording this, it is 9:25 on Friday, January 23rd. You guys should see this video by January 26th. By then. If not, it will be going up on January 26th, depending on how much time I have to edit or anything like that. I might even have time to edit tonight, who knows. Might be able to get this done tonight, not sure. Probably going to come on and go and play some Counter-Strike with a couple of friends. And that will probably be my night. I do like to get sleep, I like to watch Netflix. But it is Friday and the night is young for me, so. Alright. We're going to go straight here for a little while, then make a loop, turn back around. And let's just check our weather out there. You can see once we turn, that's going to lead us into an approach going that way. And believe it or not, it looks like when we turn, we're going to get just into the brink of a little bit of weather, but then we're going to come back right out of it and land around here somewhere. So we are all good in terms of weather. There is probably going to be some wind turbulence down in by Heathrow, but for the most part we should be fine. I'm hoping nothing changes really. So yeah, let's just hang on tight and go through the descent. There's nothing really to prepare. They prepared everything. With the Airbus, the systems are highly automated. You really don't have to do a lot with it. All you have to do after takeoff is hit this, and as long as you set this MCDU, excuse me, up correctly, and you set your checklists up correctly, if you are a person who want to go ahead, memorize the manuals and do your own checklists, which I might start doing soon, after listening to these guys about 50 times or so, you start to get the hang of what they're going to do. The AccuBrake pressure is one button that I still do not know where it is on here. But all is well. I do like when they do the checklist because it makes sure that everything is done. And I found a couple of other features really cool as well. I am going to show you guys something that no real pilot would ever do. Watch this. The Airbus prevents you from doing a full 360-degree turn. Do you see this? I can't do a 360. I'm turning my thing all the way. I can't do it. I cannot do it. Okay. Let us turn everything back on and level out here again. Autopilot.
is going on.
Auto throttle. That might have just thrown us off in descent quite a bit, so we'll just go right back ahead, hit that knob again. And we're going down again. Should get us down there relatively quickly. If we check here, we're going to be decelling after big, going down to 250. And it looks like by Sandy we have to be at 14,000. Sandy is up there. The computer should do a relatively good job at managing it. If we're not there in that time, I will personally turn on the vertical speed and have it start descending manually. You know what I mean by manually. It won't be following the descent path of the computer, but it should be able to handle that. Excuse me. I just wanted to show that one quick feature, and also another feature. You can't open this in flight. No matter how much you try, it's not going to work. I like that. That is a great simulation on part of Aerosoft. Amazing job that they've done. This is probably the most realistic Airbus flight simulator for Flight Simulator X. X-Plane, there's one that is a little bit better, but X-Plane has crappy scenery graphics. So I prefer to stay with FSX. This is the Steam edition, by the way. I am using the Steam edition right now. I also do have the regular disc edition installed. A lot of people do say that they don't like to work with each other, but you know what? I got it to work. And I bought myself a nice PMDG 737, which I don't fly a lot, but I bought it for 70 bucks, and I'm sure as hell gonna use it. So, not wasting any money there. I have the Airbus installed on the regular Flight Sim too, and I don't find any conflict whatsoever. We are quite fine with that. Alright, it looks like we're like 2,000 feet. Looks like we're 2,000 feet off. I'm going to go ahead and start a manual descent. This is quite a steep descent. Don't try this at home while you're flying. I just happen to know how to be able to manage this aircraft. I've flown this airplane quite a lot, spent a lot of time with it, and I've gone through many crashes, successful landings, and bad descents, skipped descents on accident, not initiating it in time. So I have more than enough experience with this airplane to be able to manipulate the plane. Do not do this if you are new to Airbus. Learn the systems, learn how everything works. Then I advise you, go ahead, play around with it, see what you're doing with that. Once we get to 10,000, I'll let it go off by itself. But we have to be at 8,000 by here. So once we pass 10,000, I'll let it descend normally again. We just had to lose some altitude, and we're gaining speed here, so that was the wrong button, but there you go. There's that view, you know. Man, we will put out some speed brakes. As you can see, the speed brakes came out. Really can't see them while you're in flight too well, but let's see. Yeah, you can see them. They're on the tips there. They're the in-flight speed brakes. And we're about to pass 10,000. Get that back under control.
Passing 10,000 feet.
I might have been really wrong.
On.
This could be an absolute disaster. Yup, We are going into a lot of turbulence, wind, and rain, so I'm going to go ahead, get these wipers going again. And I do urge you that if you do get motion sick to click out of the video, because there is going to be turbulence and I don't want to have any complaints or anything. Now I really can't tell at this point if it's raining outside or not, so I just put them on for more of a realism type effect, but try and be more realistic. Now, I want to know in the comments below, what do you guys think? Not that my PC is getting slow or anything, it's just nice every once in a while. I backed it up with a Windows image and everything on another hard drive. Thinking about resetting it back, or maybe even just restoring it back to factory. But I'm not sure. I'm happy with performance that I'm getting. I think I'm probably just going to leave it for now. I did receive the computer in like September, so maybe come a year, then I'll do like a clean out of the computer. And what I did was I waited for everything that I wanted to do. I worked on my flight simulator, tweaked it exactly how I wanted it, and saved everything. But this was before I had the Aerosoft, before I had the PMDG, so I'd have to go and install those things again. But it wouldn't be so bad. As a matter of fact, let me check in my drawer. I've got the documentation for the PMDG right here. And looking here to find something that I was looking for. Yeah, I have to sign in on PMDG.com, click on previous orders. Then it tells me the order code. But then I have another sheet that says order code on it. Let's see. Oh, whatever. All I have to know is that it's on PMDG.com. I wrote down directions for myself.
Transition altitude.
And we're approaching transition.
It's checked. 9-8, 9.
989. Check.
Alright. we're going to land soon, so here we go. Approaching into Heathrow, there's a lot of turbulence. I like how I'm getting this on camera. I might, not promising anything depending on lag once we get near the airport. But I might consider landing this automatically. Manually, sorry. I hear the thunder. It's still morning out there. Pretty sure I did choose morning and not sunset. I don't know. Because I did do a flight that was in the morning
2,500.
yesterday, and it was noon by the time I touched down at Heathrow. Alright, we're getting about 17 frames to 28 frames right now. Jumping a lot. You might hear the guys say 2,500 quite a lot. Because as you can see, we've kind of been going back and forth. And apparently we're still in descent. Huh. It wants us at 1,400. So I am going to like put this down to 1,500. Or 1,600 rather. But it's not going to let me put it in right now anyway. So just as a precautionary measure, we'll keep it in there. But the reason why it's not letting us is because it's going to have us at a hold here, which is what the star means. And in here it's going to have us at a hold as well. And we're going to go ahead and do our approach briefing.
Approach checklist.
EHAM status?
Is checked.
Sliding tables?
Stowed.
Stowed. Cabin sides?
Is checked.
Nav accuracy?
Is checked.
Baro reference?
Is checked. 9, 8, 9.
9, 8, 9. Checked. Checklist complete.
Now what I'm going to do is put the QNH for the airport in here. And
Please prepare for landing.
the cabin's going to prepare. And everything's going to be Jim Dandy. And it's not nighttime, but since it's dark, they're saying that. Even though the lights are on in there. That's really dumb. Why do they do that? Here's just a shot if you were going to be on as a passenger. I would be absolutely frightened. But then again, people who are used to England weather are used to turbulent, rainy flights. I'm not saying that it rains all the time, but from what I've heard, most days it is very dreary in England. Now, I'm going to go ahead and queue in 1,400 there, just in case, even though it's probably going to have us descend. Once we start turning, I'm going to hit this localizer button, which will capture us with the localizer with the ILS frequency of runway 27 left. By the looks of it right now, it looks like I'll be auto landing, but we're going to have to see. It is one of the magnificent features of the Airbus to be able to auto land fully, 100%. This was the first plane to be ever able to do that, the A320. And I know this might be a really stupid question, but I wonder if the A380 can auto land also. Like full landing, flare, and everything all by itself. even though pilots usually don't take advantage of that. Like, I'm probably, regardless, at like 300 feet, 100 feet, I'm going to shut off the autopilot, turn off the auto throttle, and land it manually. But if a pilot had to, you know.
Speed check, flaps 1.
Alright. Now here's where the system's a bit dodgy and sometimes does not work. She just pulled down flaps 1. As for flaps 2,
Speed check, flaps 2.
you need to do that yourself.
Speed check, flaps 3.
Can't go there yet. Too fast. I don't know my correct speeds.
Flight
Yes.
slope alive. Speed check, flaps 4.
There we go. She did it herself this time. And we will go localizer.
2,500.
Because we are about to turn in a minute. Let's go take a quick trip to the wing. Here we go. We're probably about to start the turn. Heathrow is off over there somewhere.
2,500.
I'm aware of where I am, computer. Leave me alone. Alright, we're starting to turn. Localizer is starting to be captured. Once she says localizer captured, we will press the approach and then turn on the second autopilot, which will then allow the glide slope to be alive.
Localizer captured.
Alright.
Gear down.
Gear down.
Second autopilot is on. Oh, noch die landing checklist.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Down and locked. 3 green.
Ground spoilers.
Checked and armed.
Auto brakes.
Max.
Exterior lights.
On.
Go around altitude.
Set.
Landing Memo.
Checked and no blue.
Checklist complete.
Alright. Checklist is complete. We are cleared to land. If we were with the tower, we would be cleared to land and approach to runway 27 left. We are on the glide path right now. Looks pretty choppy, so I'm not going to risk getting off the glide slope at the moment. When we get down to about 100 to 200 feet, I'll probably step in and take over. Now, I know what some people are thinking out there. He's not on the path to the runway. Well, yes, I am. I know from this far it doesn't extremely look like it. Looks like I could be a little off, but plane's usually always correct. Now, I just want to tilt this way a tiny bit. I'm going to go ahead and move my joystick a little bit closer to me since I don't have a monitor. I have to keep the joystick off, excuse me, off to the left because I cannot see the screen. I have an eye disability. For those of you who have been following my channel for a while. And we'll just give you a quick wing view really quick. Here we go. I'd like to land in the cockpit view though. Alright.
Auto flight off.
300 above. Two minimum.
We'll be
Continue.
fine.
100. 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard, retard, retard. Drive.
Ground spoilers.
Alright, that looked a little bit short there, but we'll be fine.
Reverse green.
We will be fine.
Brakes.
Auto brakes off 70 knots.
Alright. Everything's all set. We can get these back out. Turn that dial down. And we'll turn off at the next available taxiway.
APU on.
Now, one thing that I wish I could do is go back and look at that landing. It looks like we landed
Okay, it's the after
right at the edge of the runway. I messed up pretty bad there, and this taxiing job is terrible so far.
Check the normal.
I messed up pretty bad at the landing there.
Stand by.
Brake temperature.
Is checked.
APU.
I'm just gonna turn that on for no reason, just in case. Now, I did mess up pretty bad when it came up to the landing. I will admit that. Wasn't expecting to have to. Man, this taxiing job's terrible. I wasn't having to expect to have to. Hang on, let me be silent for a minute while I'm landing. Alright. We are fully stopped. Parking brakes are set. And we can go ahead and dim our displays. We can shut off that there. We'll turn on our internal light. Shut off these external lights here. Alright, beacon's on, that's on. These can go back to regular. Let's see. The APU is on, and we can basically now just turn off the engines as they're telling us. We can go.
It was a nice flight, so let's do the parking checklist and then we are done for the day.
Here we go.
Parking brake and chocks.
And the chocks are set. Parking brakes released.
Engine master.
Both off.
Seatbelt signs.
Set off.
Beacon lights.
Set off.
Exterior lights.
Is checked.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Fuel pumps.
Set off.
Checklist complete.
Alright, we can dim our EHAM displays now. And at this point, we would be checking over everything one last time. Shutting the APU down. And at this point, we would lose all connection when I shut off the batteries. There's no external ground power. So, once I flick that second switch, the aircraft should go off. But just in case, I don't want to leave on a note of embarrassment. So I will shut off the lights before then. And let's pray. And there we go, guys. We officially did it. Shut down. And, well, you know what might have been a really good idea? Is to probably turn the lights on. We need the I need the passenger lights on. Alright, and we can, you know what, let's not leave it in a completely dark state. We're gonna be going out in a, this plane's gonna be going out again in another few hours. So, might as well just leave it, though. Yeah, we'll just keep those on. Let's see. Passenger lights. Trying to think here. Let's turn on. Let's just keep these ground services on. And you can see, we'll turn the batteries off so we're not wasting battery power. And the displays will turn off and everything. We'll keep all the cockpit lights off. And we're on APU power now. You know what? Just no more embarrassments for me today, guys. I am still a beginner with this airplane, no matter how much I tell you that I'm good at it. So, you know, just whatever. We'll shut the whole thing down. Thank you all for watching this video. It was very fun to make, very enjoyable, and it took me almost 2 hours to make this video, so I hope that you all enjoyed. Please show the video some love. Please tell your friends, your family, your cats, your dogs, your fish, your teachers, anybody that you know, to just come, subscribe, check me out. Some drum videos hopefully coming soon. Not 100% sure about that. But I am out, guys. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. This has been EasyJet 884 or 886, something like that. And I am signing out. See you all later.